Okay, hi everybody. Yeah, sorry, again, the Zoom thing takes a bit. So anyway, hi. I'm Danny Dechi. Welcome to my one-man comedy show. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of Heels Business College. I'm losing my hair, and I work at Radio Shack. So yes, I know you ladies are getting all excited, but please don't rush the stage. Okay, thank you for your cooperation. And this always happens to me. Whenever I go into a store, customers come up to me and they ask me questions because they think I work there. I mean, do I look like an assistant manager? I mean, yeah, the other day I was over at a sports shop in the mall, just minding my own business, and this guy comes up to me with a parking garage ticket in his hand, and he says to me, "Excuse me, sir, can you please validate me?" And I go, "Sure. You're a good person. Everyone likes you, and you smell nice." And the guy goes, "Oh yeah, very funny, wise guy. I was talking about my ticket." So I look at his ticket and I say, "You're a good ticket. Everyone likes you, and you smell nice." And then the guy gets all mad. He starts yelling at me, and then the store manager comes over to see what all the commotion is about, and he fires me. Man, that was humiliating. I don't even work there, and he fires me. Although I did get my 2 week severance pay, so cool. So, I'm not a big tennis fan, but a friend of mine had an extra ticket to go see a tennis tournament, so I went. And when you sit on the sidelines watching the tennis match, everybody follows the ball back and forth, like this. Yeah, I do the same thing, but in the opposite direction and make faces at people. Yeah, and then someone yells security. So, yeah, no love there. So, also I've been taking some karate lessons, and I recently earned the plaid belt in karate. Yeah, the plaid belt stands for, hey, can we just talk this over some coffee? I'll buy. Also, I learned today that there's no crying in yoga. Yeah, and I also learned that the rolling pin can also be used for cooking. Yeah. So, by the way, this month the SPCA is having free neutering for your pets. Great. So I took my ant farm to the SPCA, and as soon as I walk in the door, someone yells security. So now I got more ants. Hey, did you hear about the gender reveal party that went bad? Yeah, was it a boy? Was it a girl? It was a forest fire. We're going to name her Felony. Yeah. So, but they still recommend that we keep washing our hands. Even though the pandemic's not as big as before, they say we should keep washing our hands for as long as it takes us to sing Happy Birthday. We can watch, do that. But I like to be more careful, so I sing Stairway to Heaven. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when the pandemic first started. Yeah, I remember my Aunt Louise was really excited. She goes, "Hey, I got the Johnson." And I said, "Oh, you got the vaccine?" And she said, "No." Got the Johnson. Okay. Yeah. So, and during the pandemic, I was watching more TV and stuff like that. So, I saw this. I was binge watching The Whistleblower. You can catch it on Pornhub. Yeah. So, and yes, I watched this movie with this actress, strange name, Busy Phillips. Anybody heard Busy Phillips? Anybody know? Yeah. Yeah. I guess her father probably named her that in case someone like me goes up to her and say, hey, hi, I'm Danny, and she would say, I'm busy. Oh, okay. Yeah, and speaking of more movies, the Oscars, the Academy Awards, is going to come up with a new category this year. It's going to be called Best Films Without Tom Hanks. Because he's in all the movies. Nothing against him or anything, but yeah. And I did go. Finally, did go to recently went to see a movie in the movie theater. It's a touching story called I Am Number Four. It's a touching story about Mandarin beef over rice. Yeah, so while watching the movie, right in the middle of the movie, the guy next to me starts talking on his cell phone. And I tell him, "Excuse me, sir, can you please put your phone away? We're trying to watch a movie." And he does. He puts his phone away. Then a few minutes later, I'm talking on my cell phone, and this guy says to me, "Hey, how come I can't talk on my cell phone and you can?" And I tell him, "That's because I am a hypocrite." Yeah, so let's see a little bit more about myself. I'm from originally from Argentina. I was when 6 years old, came over here. Yeah, Argentina, where the meat is tender and the women are tough. Yeah, so I got really excited the other day when my grocery store across the street from me, they're now selling shrimp from Argentina. Woo! A big deal for me. So yeah, because I hardly ever get to see anything or anyone from Argentina. Yeah, not too many Argentinians around. So anyway, so I was so excited. I went to the store and told the cashier, hey, I'm from Argentina too, and these are my people. Yeah, so yeah, I took the shrimp home and we hung out and talked about the good old days in Argentina. And then we watched a little bit of soccer on TV. And then I ate them. I mean, that's what I bought them for, right? To eat. Yeah. Also, while watching the game, I saw there was a Colgate commercial. It was in Spanish, and Colgate. And in Spanish, we pronounce every letter of the word. So instead of Colgate, we would see you see a guy with a smiling face holding up the Colgate toothpaste, and he says "colgate," which in Spanish, "colgate" actually means hang yourself. It really does. It really does. Yeah. So, whenever I go to Starbucks, I always order 8 cups of coffee because I like hearing my name. Yeah. And did you know that some of the Starbucks, when it's time for the voting, the big voting, presidential, general election kind of voting, they actually have voting booths at the Starbucks. And if you buy a cup of coffee, they will let you vote twice. Yep. So my friend of mine, he was bragging that he has a French coffee maker. I go, yeah, big deal. I mean, yeah, I used to have a French coffee maker myself, and I had to get rid of mine because she was nagging me all the time. Oh, you just want me for my coffee. You never take me to a movie. You never show me. Yeah. Oh well. So and sometimes I go to sometimes I just need a hug. Um, I get so lonely for a guy. I just want a hug. So I go to a restaurant and I pretend that I'm choking. So yeah, and my favorite restaurant in my neighborhood is called Mama's Diner, and they always brag it's just like Mother used to make. The only problem is every few minutes the cook comes over your table and complains about your father. So excuse me. So I went to the Olive Garden also. I went to the Olive Garden, and as soon as you walk in the door, they tell, "Hey, we treat you like family." And I said, "Oh, please don't do that. Don't do that." They give you these pagers. They vibrate and flash whenever to let you know that your table's ready. Well, I found that it's not cool to pretend that you're being electrocuted when it goes on. Yeah, so how to leave that. Oh, so hey, how can you tell someone's a vegan? Well, whenever they open their mouth, you can hear the stomach crying. So, and so I switched my food deliveries to Imperfect Foods because Indecent Foods was only delivering cucumbers. And I was cooking chicken in the microwave the other day, and as soon as I press the button, it starts sparking. And so I took the chicken out, and I couldn't figure out. I mean, the container's plastic. Why would it be sparking? So I started taking the chicken apart, and I couldn't believe it. The chicken actually had an artificial hip and a metal plate in its head. Yeah, I'm going back to getting Tyson chicken instead of a Mike Tyson chicken. And throughout world history, there have been so many book burnings that you would think that Amazon Books can come up with a better name than Kindle and Kindle Fire, don't you think? And let's see, other things in world history. There's, do you know that the sister of Joan of Arc, invented the fire extinguisher? Yeah, too soon? Sorry. Also, a little more in history. Do you know the father of communism, Karl Marx? Well, he actually got kicked off the Marx Brothers because he was antisocial and not very funny. Yeah, so it was like I said, I was watching more TV because of pandemic. So I was watching this. There's an old game show TV channel, and I was watching an old game show. I forgot what the name of it was, but anyway, so they have 3 contestants, and the first guy gets the answer correctly, and he answers correctly, and he wins $100. And then the second guy answers the question correctly, and he wins $100. And the third contestant, a woman, she answered the question correctly, and she got $73. Yeah, it's I guess it was an old show. So and I was thinking, the Me Too movement started soon after Bring Your Attorney to Work Day. Yeah. Oh, did you see the survey on MSNBC News that said that 62% of America's workers are having sexual relationships with someone else in the same workplace? So that got me thinking, man, I need to get a job. Yeah, my last job, I was actually a pizza delivery guy, and I got fired for having a perfect driving record. Yeah, what happened was my boss got suspicious, and he found out that I did not have a car. I was delivering the pizzas on the bus. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, the other day on the bus, I saw a young couple on the bus. We in San Francisco here we call it the Muni bus, and I saw a young couple on the bus and with their little baby girl, and this little baby girl said her first words on Muni. Yeah, she said, "Back door." Yeah, because we say that a lot on our show. And so I recently got a car. I finally got a car. I got a real man's car. Yeah, I got a big old '79 Oldsmobile. It gets an estimated, I don't care, miles per gallon. And its hood ornament is a smart car. Yeah, so I took my car for a car wash and your Brazilian wax. And when I got my car back, all the carpets were gone. Yeah, Brazilian wax. And oh, did you hear on the Teslas? You know, the Teslas, they found there's a computer glitch on the Teslas when they're in self-driving mode. Yeah, they found out there's a computer glitch that if there's people in the car having an argument and one guy says, go to hell, the car will drive straight to Florida. Right. And yeah, the other day there was I'm not sure if you're in my area, but there was a big fireball flashing across the sky. And people were wondering, was that a comet or a UFO or something? Yeah, they later found out that it actually was a 1971 Ford Pinto that was rear-ended. Yeah. So, and you know, people were saying, you know, I mean, how can you deny there's no climate change? I mean, there's already been not just one, not two, not three, but 6 Sharknadoes. Yeah, and yeah, and you know the water's still so polluted. You know, it's you know I was hiking by a river during the weekend, and man, this river is polluted with so much mercury. Oh, how much mercury was polluted? Yeah, this river is polluted with so much mercury that you could take your temperature with a salmon. And yeah, people still also trying to conserve water. You know, it's even though we're not too bad now, but in California, but people, you know, they still should try and conserve water. And some people are trying to save water by not flushing the toilet every time. And somebody asked, well, how long should you wait till you flush the toilet? And he said, well, until you can't close the lid. Yeah. So yeah. Remember also. Yeah, I still donate blood. I remember the first time I donated blood, and you know, the first time I didn't know how, you know, what to expect. And the nurse asked me what my blood type is, and I said, you know, I don't know. My first time. So she actually takes a sample of blood from my finger, and then she actually looks at, she tastes it, and then she said it's B positive, and you had a salad sandwich for lunch, and you live with your mother. Yeah, so I tell her, so hey, how about we go to your place or my mom's? And she said, next. Okay, so yeah, we have a tradition in my family. My middle name is Solomon. We have a tradition where all the kids, you know, they're given the middle name Solomon, or if it's a girl, yeah, they give the female version of that, which is you know, Salmonella. And when we were kids, our parents were too poor to take us to the aquarium, so instead they took us to Red Lobster. You go, oh, party of 4? No, just looking. And yeah, so you know, nowadays they got these educational programs like Blue's Clues and Barney the Dinosaur, you know, Sesame Street. You know, when I was a kid, our educational shows were you know, the Three Stooges or Looney Tunes, and we learned about the real life things. You know, like you know, never put the bowling ball on the top shelf, or never toast bread in the bathtub, and never mix the candles with TNT. And things like that. And also, I used to like the cartoon band-aids that they had when I was a kid. You know, they had like a Bullwinkle and, you know, and Looney Tunes. But yeah, they had the Flintstones band-aids. Yeah, I used to like to put those on. I used to actually hurt myself on purpose just so I could put on the band-aid. And I guess that's how I grew up into liking BDSM. So, so anyway, the other day, actually, I was attacked by a mugger. Yeah, this guy comes after me, and then all of a sudden, this woman comes out of nowhere. She just slams this mugger right down the ground, and then she handcuffs him. So I figure she must be an undercover cop. Yeah, so I asked her, excuse me, are you SFPD? And she said, no, BDSM. It's a fetish, so we dated. And I remember coming home one night, and there she is wearing nothing but a Freudian slip. And she says to me, so, hey, Danny boy, you ready for your punishment? I go, okay. So she ties me up between these posts, and then she puts the TV in front of me and forces me to watch golf. Man, I was hoping for spanking or something, but not golf. But yeah, it didn't work out anyway. She was a Republican. Yeah, I didn't see her Ronald Reagan tattoo until it was too late. It was on her fist. Yeah, but that's okay. Relationships they're expensive anyway because first gotta get the flowers and the dinner and the dancing, and then if you want to get a little intimate, you gotta get the handcuffs and the rope and that giant roulette wheel with the throwing knives, and the banjo. It starts to add up, especially if you need the banjo lessons, because and the knife throwing lessons because you want to practice safe sex. Yeah. So speaking of the Republican thing, you know that Trump's running again, I guess. But do you know he actually may not be eligible to be president? Yeah, he was born in the U.S., but his hair was born in Malaysia. Oh, and his buddy Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani. Everyone knows comedian Rudy Giuliani. Yeah, he might be in trouble also soon with the law. But he doesn't care. Yeah, he was telling his friends, "Hey, how bad could jail be? I heard they have bars there." Yeah. So the other day this guy comes running at me with flipping his thumbs and stuff like that. I don't know what was going on with him. I guess he lost his smartphone or it was on a battery. He lost it. He didn't have a smartphone. So he was going, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Can you please help me get home? I don't know how to get home. Is it lunchtime yet? I don't see a picture of my food." And then he jumped into a bag of rice. I actually dropped my smartphone in water the other day, and they say you could fix your phone by putting it immersing into a bag of rice, and I did that, but I forgot all about it, and I ended up having smartphone fried rice for dinner. And oh, by the way, now they have a new BDSM smartphone. It has slap in the face recognition. Yeah. So I remember before I had a smartphone, I was at a party at home, somebody's house party, and I was just minding my own business, and eating chips and dips, and then my friend comes up to me and says, hey, why don't you try the lady fingers? And I said, well, I don't know where they've been. So I see him playing with this smartphone, and I was wondering at that time, why is everybody always so occupied with their smartphone? What's the big deal? And my friend says to me, well, on your smartphone, you can watch a movie, you can email, you can watch sports, and even TV shows on your smartphones. Go on the internet, all that. And I said, big deal. I mean, I like a lot of things too, but you never see me carrying around a toaster and a blow-up doll at the time. So. So, I'm a big comic book fan. Any comic book fans? Ooh, comic books, yeah. I went to the comic book convention, and man, the place was really crowded. I didn't want to wait all day in line to get an autograph, so I came up with an idea. I went up to the front door and I yelled, "Hey, Eugene, your mother is here to pick you up," and the whole place cleared out. The only person that was left there was this woman dressed up like Wonder Woman. So I go up to her and say, "Hey there, Wonder Woman. Want to come over to my place and check out my comic book collection? I got a lot of issues." And she says, "Get lost, you nerd." I told her I can't get lost because I got my address written in my underwear. So there. I got a new memory foam mattress. Yeah, it was pretty cool at first. Yeah, they want memory foam mattress. Yeah, that everybody's talking about. I'm getting annoyed by it lately. It's sometimes I get home late and it just starts nagging me. It says, "Oh, why are you? Why are you? You're like 2 hours late." And who was that woman last night? She wasn't like nice, gentle Cindy. So she had some crazy Amazon woman. Yeah, I'm glad she spanked you. You deserved it. Yeah, oh well. Oh, I was just remembering when I was a kid. Also, one of my first presents that I got when I was a kid was I got this astronaut surveyor kit, and I would pretend I was an astronaut on the moon, picking up moon rocks and things. But my parents would only let me play with this toy just once a week. I later found out that it was actually the vacuum cleaner. And yeah, I remember when I was a kid, when I was about 10 years old, and it was a Christmas Eve. My parents were tucking me to bed, and my father says to me, Danny, my son, remember when you were 8 years old, we told you there's no such thing as an Easter bunny? I go, yeah. He goes, well, my son, we know that tonight's Christmas Eve, but now that you're 10 years old, your mother and I think you're old enough now that you should know that there is no God. And we're Jewish, so here's your plastic dreidel. Happy Hanukkah and sweet dreams. Lights out. So, but my father was a peaceful man. Yeah, he would always beat me with an olive branch. Yeah, so let's see. People always say, "Hey, Dan, you're always happy, you're smiling, nothing bothers you. You do drugs, you drink alcohol." No, nothing like that. I rely on something more natural. It's called denial. Yeah, denial gets a bad rap, but actually, denial is a good thing. Denial is what helps us avoid reality while still being a contributing member of society. Yeah. And they say you live your life with the cards you're dealt with. I get that, but the thing is, I didn't get any cards. Where was I supposed to be standing when they were passing out the cards? All I got was a Rubik's cube, saying "keep yourself busy." Okay, well, I'm going to now finish off with a couple of songs. I'm also a musician. I'm going to play. Here's my instrument. I'm going to play a classic piece by Beethoven. It's called "Ode to Joy." Number 2 pencil. Okay, here we go. Ode to Joy. Very much. Okay, now have a little rock and roll. Here we go. Yep. Oh, by the way, this is the same pencil I used to fail the SAT test. Yeah. So, okay. Well, before I get off, this is the stage. The stage. I just want to let you know I'm also available for birthdays. Bar mitzvahs. And also available for weddings. Okay, that's my time. Thank you, everybody.